morning, and thank you to all of you for being here. And thank you for who found out about this at sort of the last moment. You honor me with your presence and your support. And some in this room have been with me my entire public life, and the support and the counsel has meant a great deal to me. And it's with a heart full of gratitude that I'm announcing today that after 40 years in the U.S. Congress, I will not seek re-election this fall. This decision was not easy to make, but I'm very comfortable with it, and I think it's the right one. The U.S. Congress is a great institution. I'm proud of what I've been able to accomplish for children and families, for working people, for the environment in the East Bay and our country. I'm especially proud to have been able to write and to pass the National Health Care Reform, the Affordable Care Act. I have not won every fight that I have waged, and there remain, of course, many critical challenges. But I have no regrets about what I've accomplished and about what I have tried to accomplish in the public interest. After this year, I look forward to working on these challenges in new venues and in new ways. I cannot thank my family, Cynthia, my sons George and Stephen, and their families. George and Cynthia are here with me today, and my constituents, because they have given me the honor and the privilege of representing all of you in Congress these past 4 decades. I've tried to repay them with their confidence by working hard every day to make our country a better place. And what a wonderful experience it has been. I came to Congress to make sure that children of all backgrounds in America could have a healthy start in life, the opportunity to get a good education, and to eventually have a chance to work hard at a good job with dignity and to participate in the American economy and the American democracy. As a youth, I watched my father use his elected position to really help people. And I told myself, that's what I want to do when I grow up. I've woken up every day asking myself the same question. What is my opportunity to do some good today? And I think that I've lived up to the high standard I set for myself when I first thought this job. And the same degree of commitment and passion now as when I first started. I firmly believe that we live in a time of tremendous opportunity. This Congress, though, is not always ready to embrace these opportunities. I want to be part of innovation, the entrepreneurial movements that are working hard to solve persistent problems, such as education and economic fairness. Wealthy and powerful special interests have always had plenty of friends in Washington. I went to the Congress and I stayed in the Congress to stand up for the rest of us. I believe that I've been faithful to that mission all of these years. I have learned a great deal in the process and all of those years, but 3 lessons stand out. First, enacting progressive public policy is good for our country. It helps to grow and to strengthen the middle class, and that's good for America. Second, making good public policy is hard work. The job is never done, never, ever done. It requires a great sense of urgency to move forward on the big issues and on enormous stamina to see them through to the end of the process. And third, elections matter. They establish the basic parameters of what kind of legislation is possible in the United States Congress. I'll miss my daily collaborations with so many of my colleagues whom I respect and admire, and I will always be grateful to the remarkable staff that I've been blessed with over these years. So much of what I've been able to accomplish for my district and for the country is a result of the joint venture with my staff in California and Washington, and with so many talented and committed community and national advocates. I will especially miss working with Congresswoman and Democratic leader Nancy Pelosi. She was the greatest speaker in the House that we've ever known. We owe her an enormous debt of gratitude. As I said, I look forward to working in new venues on the issues that have been at the core of my career and my passions, in particular education reform, economic fairness, improving labor standards in the United States and abroad, such as in the worldwide garment industry. For the remainder of this year, though, I will press Congress to do some more good. We have 11 months and we have a very full agenda. I think it's critically important that the Congress extend long-term unemployment insurance to the million Americans who had their coverage cut last month. Raise the federal minimum wage, a bill that I support on behalf of the President of the United States. Further implement the Affordable Care Act, critical piece of legislation, and find common ground to fix No Child Left Behind Act, and to make college more affordable, and to push for passage of my bipartisan bill to implement President Obama's plan to expand early childhood education, pass comprehensive immigration reform, press the American retailers and brands to embrace international labor standards on their substandard factories in Bangladesh and other countries, and continue our effort as part of the Bay Area Congressional Delegation to make sure that our wounded warriors, our returning vets, get the benefits that they are entitled to, and get rid of that backlog, which is an insult to their service to our country. That's a very tall agenda, I know that. But it's an agenda that the American people strongly support, and one that will help strengthen our country, reduce inequality, create opportunity for all of our children for years to come. So again, I want to thank my family for all of your support and the gift that you've given me all of these years. And to my staff, my magnificent staff in both Washington and in the district, for all of the support they've given me and all of the help they've provided to my constituents. And to my fellow advocates here and my supporters everywhere for believing in me and trusting me and for working together all of these years. It's been one hell of a ride. It's been magnificent. And I'm excited about what comes next. And now I'd like three of my friends to say a couple of words, if they might. And we're going to begin with Talia? Oh, Jennifer, excuse me. Jennifer. Thank you.